All right, it says we're live. I believe we are live. Happy Monday, everybody. Raiderland Helmet Sticker Day. We're going to find out who you guys are going to give a little recognition to for being awesome. Coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios. A few more days this week, you're going to want some Arctic air out there. And then you're going to want to call the bear if the air is too Arctic. You get the idea. Also by Domino's Pizza. It's Monday. They've got great deals online, Domino's.com. Check out the emergency pizza deal. Emergency pizza. Find out for yourself, Domino's.com. And then, of course, by our realtor in Raiderland, Kyle Rogers is our man at Remax Realty, buying or selling in the Hubaplex. He's the one you want to talk to. All right, folks, if you are joining us on YouTube and on Twitter X, you know what to do. Use the United Supermarkets text line, 806-772-0197 will get you in. Otherwise, just like Chris, just like Ryan and Damon, the talking box is indeed on Facebook Live. You guys let us know the audio is good and the video is good. Give us thumbs up, give us hearts, all that stuff. And then you can share it. You can invite some folks in and tell them, hey, we're talking West Texas. We're speaking West Texas with you for the next half hour or so here on a Raiderland Helmet Sticker Day. Sports or non-sports, who gets your seal of approval and a little recognition. All right, we got enough folks filing in here on a Monday. I think we're ready to rock and roll. Let's do it in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com, the website. You start your day there most days. Yeah, I know we didn't have a post this morning. Hey, things happen. Life goes pretty fast. Slow down. You might miss something. We will be back tomorrow, though, in the morning with Tuesday's best thing I ever ate as well. And a whole mess of Raiderland hot links waiting for you at TheRaiderland.com. And if you missed our thoughts on the game, rewind in the written form brought to you by Thacker Jewelry. And it's waiting for you there in case you missed it over the weekend. So we're going to talk about all that stuff and more tonight with you guys here on the United Supermarkets text line. 6 o'clock kickoff this weekend. Lay in provisions early during the week. Don't wait. Hit United Wednesday, Thursday. Get ready for the weekend. So we got stuff to do tonight. We're going to look back before we look ahead. Texas Tech about a point favorite most places against Kansas State going in this weekend, but we're going to look back on the victory over the Bears, and it was a triumph, in our opinion, of Gut-Alytics and Analytics, and there may have been a paradigm shift. We may have experienced a paradigm shift in the first half of that game. Try not to make too much of it. We have a tendency in the media to go hyperbole and hyperbolic on things, but we may have witnessed a shift in Red Raider football in the first half. We'll explain that as we go through. We got the helmet stickers. We got Dallas Cowboy fans. It's real simple. Relax. Know your role. Know your place in the NFL. You drive eyeballs, you make everybody else money, and you don't win important games. That's your job. That's what you do. You get on TV a lot. People love to hate you. You're the New York Yankees without winning. So for Cowboy fans, we had warned you early on, settle down. It'll get there. Now, what's interesting to me, last night was typically a game that the Cowboys might win because it really didn't matter in the scheme of things. That typically they lose that game when it matters. Now they're not winning that game when it doesn't even really matter. And everybody who's going after Dak Prescott, allow me to defend him one more time, as I have the entire time he's been the quarterback. He is a slightly above average NFL quarterback who is being asked to do expert things without expert cast around him. It ain't his fault. Just like it was never really Tony Romo's fault, because Tony Romo was never an elite quarterback. You can't ask non-elite quarterbacks to do elite things and expect positive results. It's not Dak's fault. Helmet sticker to the Texas Tech soccer team, midpoint, in front. There's up top of the table, looking good. Just an exhilarating, what was it? Was it 1-1? An exhilarating 1-1 tie there at Provo. They win on Sunday. Absolutely helmet sticker to them. We'll get your helmet stickers in. You guys start firing away. Get on the United Supermarkets text line, 806-772-0197. Let's speak of the game and what we mean by a paradigm shift. It happened when you were up 7-0. It would happen again later on. That faced with a 4th and go for it around midfieldish The analytics turned into Gut-Alytics. The punter showed up, and punting was sexy again. And make no mistake, you have a All-American punter, a guy who's going to punt on Sundays. He is a weapon. And on Saturday, they chose to use the weapon at the absolute right time. I don't know what the chart said. I know that if they had gone for it, they and made it or not made it in that situation, that they would have come back and said, hey, all we know is the analytics say if you go for it in that situation, you increase your chances of winning by X number of percent. I don't know. I don't care, because I know what happened Saturday night. And it's the first great example I've seen in a little while with this bunch. And it was the real time moment of the game superseding anything on a chart. Now, moved away from the tempo just for tempo's sake. The offense clicked more. But what you saw there was a head coach who looked at the situation and said, we're up 7-0. We got momentum, and the defense is looking really good. Why make life easy for them? Why give them a chance? And you pin them back. And you get the ball back in good field position, and then you go make it 14-0. By pinning them down, by flipping the field, this is old school football, and it still works. You increased your chances, I believe, of winning and decreased theirs. Because when you pin them inside the 20, you can absorb a first down. You can absorb 2 first downs on the drive and still get the ball back in good position, and they're not a threat to score. You took away that threat with the 2 punts there in the first half that allowed you to get the ball back in field position and then go score. The team went back in time and ran first and threw second. Yeah. Joey took a page from Parcells and played field position. And field position is great, particularly on a night where the defense is dominating. It was fairly apparent early on in this game that Texas Tech was the more physical team, the stronger team, and the faster team on both sides of the ball. It's been a long time since we could say that in a Big 12 game against somebody not named Kansas. And even against Kansas, didn't always show up recently. Charlotte is watching today. Still remember Shane Leckler at Texas A&M, weapon he was. It's a tremendous weapon, and they chose to utilize it. And they chose to utilize it at times where, quite frankly, I was more than prepared to see them go for it there. And again, come back with the old saw about, and it increases, if you do that and you get a first down here, and your chances of this go up by X, and your EPA moves in this direction. No. Your gut was telling you Saturday night, we got this. We'll pin them back. We'll get the ball right back. We'll go score, and we'll keep them from doing it. And it translated all night long. I think when the night was done, and a big reason is because of some of those punts, that you forced them to make 68% of their snaps in their own territory. They couldn't get past midfield hardly, other than a hope and a prayer pass, really nothing. Punting is sexy again. Make it sexy. Use McNamara. It's that simple. But it was impressive to see. We saw some paradigm shifts, I think, within the Texas Tech coaching staff. And again, trying not to make too big a deal out of it. We hadn't seen that. The other one of them mentioned it. It was, wow, this Taj Brooks guy's really running, and this offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage and doing stuff, and we don't have to run the quarterback. And they didn't. Now, of course, they've got a quarterback who, according to Joey McGuire, only took 50% of the snaps this past week. 2 weeks ago, he's hardly out there. I've been told, and I don't know if it's true or not, that he didn't even throw really in practice this past week. Don't let him throw the rest of the year. He's doing great. Well, there you go. Every good possession should end in a kick. Yeah, should. One way or the other. So a helmet sticker to Joey McGuire for the Gut-Alytics and for Zach Kidley for doing the fairly obvious. And he had a quote today at media that he'd rather win 14-10 than lose 52-49. My gosh, it's been almost 25 years. And there are a lot of grown-up people. Well, actually, they're infantile in their football thinking, I'd rather go out and score 50 points, man, and take my chances. That's dumb. You're dumb if you think that. It's not in vogue to punt to coffin corners anymore. I love that expression. Helmet sticker to Baylor Cup. Helmet sticker to Alan Corbin. 2 Baylors, 1 Cup. He won the internet Saturday night with that tweet. Hey there, Trace. Good to see you out there. Deborah, good to see you right there. Yeah, helmet sticker to both those 2 guys. They're evolving. Good coaches do. They tore up the swindle sheets and left them sitting on the scales. And they did smart football, and it paid off. Helmet sticker to the Texas Rangers. Yeah. Who are these guys? They're just going to bash their way through the ALDS, right? Bullpen doesn't matter. We're going to go score 14 a game. Is there something to be said? Less is more. Less practice passes mean more accurate, better passers in game? No. No, that's not how it works. In fact, it's pretty impressive that Morton's been able to do what he's done the last 2 weeks. And coming in, his accuracy percentage was not all that high. But again, and we can get to this some more, he made the right reads. He got them in the right plays. He made plays when the opportunity was there based upon what you'd set up with that run game, with Taj Brooks, with Exxon Valdez. So, yeah. But no, less is not more. Doughboy checking in on the United Supermarkets text line. He's in Shreveport, headed to West Texas. Tomorrow going to Odessa. Was at the game Saturday. Good win. You got to go to all the games now. That's like the rule. If you go to a game, and they win, you got to keep going. Helmet sticker to the running back, says Chris. Yeah, picking up. Oh, my gosh. Taj Brooks the last 2 weeks has had some chip blocks that have been just ridiculous. Beautiful to watch. Texter, hi, I bought Junior Miller's best-selling book, Guide to Never Again Buying Into the Cowboys Again, by Junior Miller. Chapter 10, The Jones Family is Great. It explains how the Cowboys will never win again until Jerry Jones fires Jerry GM and removes all the Joneses from the front office. And, of course, that's never going to happen. And they're going to own that franchise in perpetuity throughout all of our natural lives as we exist right now. And they're never going to change. Brooks never looked tired. No, he didn't. And you've got running backs, and I thought they mixed it up pretty good and spelled them. And there's not a moment also that I feel like if Brooks isn't out there and it's Valdez, that you've compromised in anything, which is huge. Real quickly back on the Cowboys there and Jerry Jones. The GMing has been pretty good the last couple of years. It's still a systemic problem in the organization that coddles failure, coddles non-expectations, and actually seemingly rewards that type of attitude. There seems to be very little accountability within the organization from the top on down to that. They'd much rather be loved and popular than actually win. So until that dynamic changes, they have a losing organization. They have a winning organization on the bottom line because you people keep funneling the money to them. I can't help you on that. Cowboy fans are the great enablers. There's zero economic incentive for Jerry Jones to do anything different. Jerry Jones sees the bottom line, and he thinks everything is fine. It is the silk pajama issue. It's hard to wake up early if you're sleeping in silk pajamas. Cowboy culture sinks. Oh, it stinks. Yeah, it stinks. Danny, I would say this. I had somebody who I will not reveal their name because if I did, it would get back to them. And we discussed this about 2 years ago. And he told me that the problem with the Cowboy culture is that there is an absence of culture. There is no culture. That's almost worse than having a bad culture. That Jerry Jones sets no standard culture. Stephen Jones sets no standard of culture. McCarthy, I told the Cowboy fans the day he was hired what you were going to get. He doesn't create a culture. There is no culture. In fact, I think Tony Romo fought against that his entire time he was there, with Jason Garrett, the clapper, being a figurehead of the organization that was nothing. Off the United Supermarkets text line, helmet sticker to the Land Thieves for beating the Snowflakes. Is Texas back? Yes, they're back to being who they always are. A team that has, well, even lately, they hadn't always had a lot of talent shown up in the NFL draft, but a typically talented team that should achieve 10 wins a year that, can't do it. Big win for Venables. Really big win. Very interesting. I was forced because DirecTV hates David Collier and Brian Mudd. so I couldn't watch it on the regular feed. So I had to watch the Pat McAfee show version of that. Oh, man. That was something, let me tell you. What kind of new vehicle will all the Tech football players get? We can't be outdone by Utah. Yeah, Utah getting the trucks. I said get them trucks, man. Get the trucks. Helmet sticker day, Texas Tech culture, paradigm shift. Punting is sexy again, and that's cool. And as we wrote Saturday, it took exactly 1 year for Texas Tech to pass Baylor in physicality, athleticism, and speed. You know, Seinfeld show of the NFL. It's a team about nothing. That's the beautiful thing. It's about nothing. What's it about? Nothing. What's the Pat version? I mean, it was interesting. You know, there was the goal line stand when Matthew McConaughey was down there in the end zone with them was awesome. I got no dog in the fight. I root for whatever's either in my financial interest or otherwise. And typically I root for whoever is going to, you know, create the most havoc. So that was Oklahoma this weekend. But that 4-down goal line stop with Mr. All right. I got to go. Oklahoma defense was all right 4 times right there. Are you kidding me? So we have all that. Anything else you want to talk about? Other news today, multiple reports. I think Seth Hoops was the first one to do it. Gonzaga to the Big 12 is not dead in basketball. We didn't think it was. They just had to get a few things sorted out. And if Gonzaga is not dead, UConn is not dead. Because UConn still be looking around going, well, if we could play basketball in that league and nothing else and have that high profile, we're a basketball school, really don't care about football. Yeah, okay, we'll eventually take the deal. Gonzaga, one report, I think it was Dennis Dodd who released or referred to it, pardon me, from CBS Sports, that they're like the 5th most powerful, popular team on power TV power rankings, basically. Gonzaga will take the SMU deal in a heartbeat. And for Gonzaga, it makes sense. Again, they're never going to be a power in football. They have no desire to be. So why not be in the most powerful basketball conference and do what you do? The teams on this ranking, and this I think was released by Gonzaga, maybe PR, so take it for what it's worth. It was Duke, then Kentucky, then UNC, then Kansas, then Gonzaga. 5 powerful. I believe it. Even my mom is a fan of Gonzaga. I don't know why. She still thinks they're underdogs. She still thinks, a little school, that's awesome. Mom, they've been really good for 2 decades now. So I don't believe that deal is dead by any stretch. I don't believe UConn is dead either. Tell me one thing that Brett Yormark has tried to do that he eventually hasn't gotten done. Give me one example of something that Yormark has done or wanted to do that he couldn't. Off the United Supermarkets text line, did you crown Corbin Listener of the Week for the Grego 1 Cup reference about Baylor Cup? Yeah, I told, and we mentioned it on Twitter. He won Twitter for the week. Brandon is watching. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, this is the time of year where we get inundated. I just find this interesting. The first freeze contest that they have. Anybody know Lubbock? And this is at the airport. The annual average date for the first freeze. You'll know. You guys should know when this is, right? Anybody know the actual date that they have? I would have got it wrong by day. The KSU coach, Chris Kleiman, going to dress up as Bill Snyder for Halloween. That's cool. Told my son we play Spike Era football and responded with November 4th, no. October 27th, no. Who is that? Who is what? Who is who? Pro tip, we're going to coach the audience real quick. Be incredibly specific in your questions when you text in and type in. Be incredibly specific. Your real-time flow is always gone. Who is Spike? Serious? Yeah, no, it's a joke. First freeze, anybody? You guys are kind of all around it. I'm surprised you don't have it. at least yet. Let's see. Got some more helmet stickers to give out as well. First freeze when I get home from daughter number 2 soccer practice and get the frosted mug with the Dr. Pepper. November 1st, the annual date. Now, I would have said Halloween because it seemed like that has been the old saw forever and ever, that the first freeze around Logan would be Halloween. Now, okay, perhaps we're all splitting hairs here that it's like Halloween night, but it doesn't go below freezing until after midnight. So it's the first morning of, okay, there you go. Is the Swing Your Sword shirt a mainstay now for McGuire? Yeah, it's pretty cool to see him have that on. You know, I don't know. Typically, if you watch McGuire on the sidelines, he's going to be in a different color shirt than some of the other coaches, and certainly what the team is wearing. Obviously, that's so you can see him, that he stands out. So, yeah, you know, if they're wearing black, he's probably not going to be wearing that shirt. I don't know if they got a white version of it or whatever, but uniforms look good. If you're undefeated in it, keep wearing it. Yeah. Get the corresponding color version. I have no idea what kind of football costumes Tech's going to wear this weekend for Kansas State. The road look was pretty good. Again, if they'd just gone with the old helmets, man, that would have been so good. Almost a perfect. The pants stripe, get rid of that. Go to the smaller stripe. But man, it really looked good. And then Baylor, if you had a fraternity and you forced people to dress that way, if you told pledges you have to go out in public wearing this, they would be thrown off campus for hazing. Huh. Let's got to go back up. Let's see. John says, I've been liberated from How About Them Cowboys, and it is refreshing, replaced by the new version of the original Dallas Cowboys. Go Chiefs until Mahomes retires. Baylor was direct. Yeah. That is the good thing for a lot of West Texas or Texas Tech Dallas Cowboy fans, is that he has given you the Chiefs over the last 5 years. And that is a really good surrogate for, you know, if you're a Cowboy fan having to deal with stuff. Text line, wear what you want to the game, red or black. Well, I'm not talking about the people. People can wear whatever the hell they want. Yeah, there goes number 6, Greek circle with all those unis. Wouldn't that be blue and gold? Got to watch out for that, Dagger. What kind of gun? Oh, gum. It said gun. Gum does he chew? Yeah, I don't know. Bubblicious. We do quick power rankings of gums. I do not chew gum. I never really chewed gum. The only time I ever really chewed gum years and years ago, and I corrected myself with a bad habit. But like if I was chewing Red Man or something, I'd get a big old ball of Red Man, ball it up, and I'd get a big old hunk of Big League Chew. Anybody remember Big League Chew out there? Yeah, came in its own little pouch, just like the Red Man. You know what you could put in a Big League Chew pouch? Well, anyways, I'd chew up a mess of that Big League Chew, and then I'd cover that wad of Red Man, and you just sit there, and it gave it a sweetness. Yeah, it's pretty good. Messy spit, though. Get on your face mask, get on your whatever. Not really good to do. The story behind Big League Chew is very cool. I don't know the story. Huh. I had no idea there's a story. That's good, though. Good stories are good. Off the United Supermarkets text line. Our unis did look good. However, we need to ditch the overly wide stripes. I agree. On the leg, we need more traditional Alabama thin stripes. Yeah. A white, black, red deal on the red pants. A little white and black stripage. Very Donnie Anderson-esque. Really good look. Now, if we can just bring back quality socks. We don't have to go full-on 70s, early 80s tube socks, although that would be cool. The Cowboys, the Red Raiders, when they went to the black and silver, they had a sock pattern that looked not just a little bit, but exactly like the Chicago Bears socks. And that was about the only redeeming thing about that uniform, was that look with the socks. I loved them so much. One year at Coronado, we had them. So it was team picture day. And so I was having my picture made with 2 different teams. But anyways, I had I liked them, so I put them on. I didn't get the memo that we were supposed to wear the red top socks. So there's a picture of me looking all goofy with my socks kind of rolled down and my skinny legs sitting there. Red pants on the road just pop on TV. Punting is cool. Punting is good. Good things happened when you punt the other night. Now, I'm not saying that McGuire's completely thrown out analytics, and I'm not even saying, I don't even know for sure what the analytics said. Doesn't really matter. But again, that was real-time application of what you were seeing on the field rolled into the decision-making, and I didn't need a chart to tell me, you know what, we're owning them right now defensively. Pin them back on their 2-yard line. We'll get the ball back. We'll do something. Who knows how different the game is if you go for it, first quarter, 4th and 5 at your 46, and they get the ball there. 1 first down, they're in field goal range. Maybe they hit a lucky play. Then Chapin's feeling good. They feel different, but instead you end up 14-0. You controlled that game. When was the last time you really felt like Texas Tech controlled a game start to finish against I'm going to say quality Big 12 opponent? Let's throw out Kansas. Let alone on the road. We talk about game scripts and how they play out. And you can have a close game, moderately close score-wise, which, by the way, people who don't think like a 39-14 win is a blowout, obviously you're young. Obviously you're just young, and I can't help you on that. I will teach you. You will learn, you know? But Texas Tech was always in control of that game. There was never a moment that Texas Tech did not control that game. I don't think you controlled Oklahoma last year. I think you won that game, but I don't think you were ever that you just felt like, you know, from can till can't that you did that against Oklahoma. Hey, let's see. The inventor, I assume we're talking about Big League Chew. Again, be very specific. Now, this is how this should read. The inventor of Big League Chew played for the Portland Mavericks, part of the story in the documentary, The Battered Bastards of Baseball. Last time Texas Tech controlled a game, played NCAA football 14 game 10 years ago. Pretty good. So, yeah, that was awesome. Cowboy fans, be thankful that it happened. I mean, this takes it out, takes it away. This takes it away. Yeah, maybe a little bit. This takes away anything, any illusions that you may have had here in mid-October. Now you can go, oh, okay, and now we know. Niners can be so good. Brock Purdy gets rid of the ball quickly, sees the field, all the accolades that they were talking about last night. It's all true. He made Matt Campbell so much money. Look at all the talent in the NFL from those teams, and 7 wins was the most he got. Campbell's a fraud, you know? And then he Seth Luttrelled himself by not taking another job. He could have been another fraudulent coach. He coached with the Patriots. Then he ended up at Kansas. He was at Notre Dame. He ended up at Kansas. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking out on his name. I've got a total blank on this big guy. Charlie Weiss. There you go. Thank you, Chris, getting right in there. Fraudulent. He fraudulented his way through coaching jobs. Thank you, all of you, for that. Also shows how the draft was a crapshoot. Purdy got passed over by all those teams. Yeah. I mean, think about all the smartest guys in the room, and none of them thought, yeah, Breece Hall, Purdy on the same team, and Sonny beat them. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Tech Soccer getting one. Oh, helmet sticker to the Tech band for being down there in Waco. Joey McGuire mentioning that again today at the press conference about how important it was, and I agree. I talked to a lot of people that said the atmosphere was really good, and I think that helps it. I know monetarily it's impossible to send the going band all over the place, but helmet sticker to the Texas Tech band for being down there And boy, it sure seemed like Tech. And this is always the case in Waco. Ton of fans there showing out. Oh, that's pretty smooth. That'll wake you up. Other helmet stickers we talked about: Taj Brooks, McNamara. Got to give the offensive line, the much maligned offensive line, give you a helmet sticker, man. Putting a hand down in the dirt and moving some people out. Defensive front was great. Linton, defensive player of the week on one of the lists. I'm not sure which one. You could hear the band all night on the broadcast. Yeah. Boy, Linton had that look of a Tyree Wilson, didn't he? Tim DeRuyter, underrated with defensive front concepts. Green, white checker, we're not going to stop. We're having too much fun. Quarterback accuracy was very good. Tim DeRuyter with his concept games. And, they talked today about getting the rush home. And we had talked last week about, getting out of your lanes, much like a kickoff coverage team, that you can get out of your rush lanes and allow quarterbacks to step in, step up, do different things to get around you. We didn't see that. That was impressive. We'll see. And you've got Kansas State. We'll get into this more as the week goes on. They've got major injury problems. They've got all sorts of interesting things going on that you may be able to dictate terms to them with your defense the same way you did to Baylor. If we'd had a Royal Rumble of Big 12 head coaches, who are you picking? Current Big 12 coaches? Be interesting. Current Big 12 coaches in a Royal Rumble. I hadn't really thought about that. Gundy, I think he'd fight dirty. I mean, Gundy, he looks like he's probably carrying most of the time. Probably, and I mean not just one piece, but he's strapped one in the back hip. He's got one in his boot, and probably has a knife. I would go with Gundy. And if he showed up with slicked back hair and everything, just looking a little greasy, he'd cheat like hell. That's what I'd go with. Dana. No, Dana wouldn't be a fighter. Dana, not much of a scrapper. Matt Campbell from Iowa State was pretty salty when his job was questioned by a fan. Yeah, bring it on, man. Fraud. What else you got? Anything? Bueller? Tuesday's Best will give you a topic. You'll give us the two best examples you can think of. We love food. We always talk about food. We'll talk about food tomorrow. Best Thing Ever Ate, Hat Tip Cooking Channel. And then we shall proceed to dive deeper and deeper. I'll take the Packers tonight. Get that game going here in just a little bit. Going to Red River soon. Good for you. Where were you going to say Campbell would have gone? Oh, there was speculation all over the place. Any job opening 2 years ago had Campbell's name on it, which is a harder game. Kansas State at home, BYU on the road. BYU on the road, based on where Kansas State is right now, health-wise, and the fact that even after a nice road win, you still have a small sample size of not doing it very well lately. I would say BYU on the road. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff, so that doesn't give them. That means 4 o'clock out there, I think. So they won't be too liquored up. They're in Provo. Tech, Kansas is starting to make me worry. Never, ever worry about Kansas. Don't ever worry about Kansas in football. Don't worry about it. Nice uniforms though, but don't worry about it. Don't allow that to worry you one bit. It's a trap game. You're looking ahead to UCF. I see what you're doing right now. Right? This is where we got to say goodbye. First off, to the wonderful folks who are enjoying the program today on YouTube and on Twitter X. We ask you today, do we end the stream? Yeah, okay. End the stream, yes. We're ending the stream.